Hello, and welcome once again to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, the Let's Try program here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horner, and as usual, I will be your navigator tonight through whatever project it is that... there's no joke. There's no joke. There's no joke. There's also no subterfuge. Unfortunately, tonight's scheduled project, the Ian Makes Cheese, had to be postponed due to a lack of supplies making their way into the Victoria Greater municipal area, and so we're gonna have to postpone the cheese for another night. Yeah, no Casamarzu stream this time. Gap filler saw in the chat earlier. Castellanto also bringing up the Casamarzu. I just want to do a quick redo there. No sheet on the island. Not sure. No sheep. I assume is what that meant to say there for the rennet. No, couldn't get a hold of the rennet nor the some of the other small stuff necessary for. I'm hoping to make a batch of some curdy boys and maybe make some sort of a poutine proto cheese. But that's for another day. So we're gonna go back to the project that's gonna take a while, and it's gonna be it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna enjoy it. God damn it. Yeah, it was nearby, which is the point. So we're gonna come back to the Gunpla Nightingale 2. But before that, I figured I owed you some form of a recipe, and I'm gonna do that anyway because. Why not? I'm going to show you what we're making for dinner tonight. Not going to make it for you because it is far too easy and would not, well, while it would take the entirety of the stream, would it? No, it wouldn't, but it takes 45 minutes. Come on, let's get it on. So let's bring up the iPhone, the big iPhone. We've got our top-down view. We'll love to see it. And, yeah, imagine a small pot there, because what we're going to do today is we're going to have some spaghetti, or rather, a better pasta, bucatini. It's like spaghetti, but it's they got holes in them, like that. You can see down the right down the center of that there. So some people refer to them as pasta straws. Do not drink out of them as a straw. You may think that eating raw pasta is safe, but the specter of E. coli is everywhere. So be aware of uncooked pasta. So you're gonna have some pasta. Make the pasta as you make your pasta. Make it at the end, because what we're gonna need for the pasta is a sauce. And to make an sauce, I like to use San Marzano tomatoes. And that's about it, with just a couple of other things. What you're going to do is you're going to take a medium onion, chop that sucker in half, like maybe skin it just a bit, but keep all the good flavor in there. You want to cut it on the bias so you got the rings so it can suck right up into there. And then you're going to lay that in the pot. You don't need to turn the heat on. You can get fancy if you want and rub it around and make it all nice and hot. But yeah. That plus that, let it simmer. Put it over medium heat, let it simmer at a slow pace for 45 minutes. And you're also going to wait one more thing, and this is the important part. You add all the ingredients right at the start. You're going to need not quite that much butter, but you're going to want 71 grams, or 5 tablespoons, or just over a 1/4 cup. So a good little chunk of that. Put them together, 45 minutes, and you'll be surprised at how good. Yeah, you can see my crib sheet. That's called my recipe manager. It's called Paprika. It's really great. You can do all sorts of things with it. This is not an ad for Paprika. Sponsor, get in touch, but otherwise, no. But yes, butter, onion, cut in half. Dispose of the onion afterwards, and San Marzano tomatoes, 45 minutes, and you have a surprising flavor. Yes, Twilight Spark, the idea is to simmer the onion, but not chop it. Just cut it right in half, put it face down or rings down in the pot, add your tomatoes over top of it, and just let it go out. Draconate Streams, you say eat. I thought, the first time I made this recipe, I thought to myself, hey, I don't like wasting food. Or I don't like to be seen wasting food. No, straight up, I don't like wasting food. Wasting food's bad. But, so I decided to give that onion a try. And you'd be surprised at how, like, if you've ever wanted to taste the flavor of wet vegetable cellulose with nothing in it, just it's like eating an organic sponge. It's terrible. But on the other hand, it means that all of that flavor went into the soup or to the sauce. And by my accounts, it did. Anyway, that's my sauce. That's not my sauce. Who's behind that? That's Smitten Kitchen, is where I stole the recipe itself from, but I think I heard about it on Due by Friday, the podcast. So there we go. There's your recipe for the day. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Why do I keep those nearby as a memento? Not a memento mori. Memento. What's the Latin word for eat? Oh, hey. Good job, Ian. One other thing, the God hands come with a little leather cover over them, so you don't get a memento mori. Oh God, yes, because that even scans in terms of the rhyme scheme. Memento mori, remember to do it or you'll die. Yeah, normally they come with a leather cover, and I'd wondered where it had gone because I've been using the cardboard sleeve. I thought eventually that's going to disintegrate, and I'll need to cover these up. And like, well, would you look at that? Future Ian, or past Ian, was smart for future Ian and just stuck it in between those pieces there. Right. When last we left the Gundam, we had a lot of sprues on the go, but we had managed to complete 2 separate entire, I want to say feat, because I think if I were a designer, okay, maybe they're not. Maybe I would say this is the ankle, and then this is probably, up here is going to be the knee then, and then this is the, that's absolutely a hip. You can tell by the fact that it's got the added degree of freedom there. And yes, we did in fact can last time, because we could. Remember, those are the tiny feats of this large friend. Let's adjust the camera here as well. Very happy with the iOS OBS camera application, because it's been very good at, let's swap lens to do telephoto camera. There we go. I finally have a web interface for it, so I don't have to stand up and stretch with my fingers on the aperture of the screen. Where did I put the chat? There's the tab. All right. Where you saw pasta sauce on the preview image. Yeah, that's so. What we'll be doing here today is we'll be turning this Gundam model into San Marzano tomatoes. You can see that there's only a few pieces that we're going to need to remove here before we can actually blend down the mobile suit into choice, plump, whole peeled tomatoes with basil. Where were we going? We had finished up to and including, oh, good, that's right. I'd forgotten that we were about to enter the groin. Can't take that back. We are about to begin procedures upon the center skirt and the proboscis. So let's crack into it, shall we? We're looking at the right side right now, and that's going to be J16 and K. We're trying to keep as many of these in their plastic booties for as long as possible as I can. I mean, this is all going to be red and gray, right? I know this. It's a Unix system. That's C. And that's all going to be gray because it's all gray. If you're getting straight to it being Ian time. Oh yes, top of the morning dew. That is a Raised by Wolves, presented in an Asahi, Kampai Olympic mug. You can get that in there. I'd show it on this one, but that would be disastrous to the contents. My brother brought those to me back in, I believe, 2017. He owns a bar in Japan, and it was some swag that was given to him by Asahi, so not sponsored from me, at least. I've already mentioned groin and booty. Well, yes, that seems about on time for me. This is J2. That's wrong J. This is J1. That is the correct J. Ah, and I think I found our friends here in runner K. So let's get to cutting, shall we? Doing a turn A Gundam having descending testicle action on the cockpits. Matt Mitchell, that was one of my favorite parts of the Sid Mead designed turn A Gundam. K29 and K28. Ah, handily right next to each other. Let's just snip those out, and then we'll clean those up. Okay, there we go. And then we're also going to need a J16. Aha! J1 and number 6. Let's come there, base to base, and bring down the guillotine. The guillotine was a man-eating machine. Okay, let's start with the J6, and be aware of the part, and which parts not to snip off, apparently. I'm very confused by this piece, but I think I'll figure it out. All right, let's get a bin in here too to collect our nubs. You know what? Yeah, let's get used to doing it out there, so you all can see what's going on and critique my manicure. In fact, let's see if I can even get in there just a bit more for value. Ooh, no, that's too far. I was thinking like 1.4, my dude. There we go, 1.36. That's a nice clicky number. All right. Ooh. Okay, there's one bit. There is not sufficient disk space to continue recording. Well, let's hope there's nothing that goes wrong during the stream. The strew nubs can be used as a garnish for finished pasta. Gunpla, I appreciate that. Actually, the reason I'm saving these particular ones is I'm thinking I might... there's a possibility that I might need to remove or delete some seam lines. Or that just I might want to try removing a seam line or two at some point. And, you know, nice to keep the sprue bits around for the concoction of sprue goo, I believe is what it's called. For those not in the know, sprue goo is a mixture of a solvent, usually I believe acetone, or I think actually one of the Tamiya branded, or really any model cement. And then you mix it up with bits of sprue, shake it up until it's basically a, not even a paste, but sort of a very viscous liquid. And then you just literally paint that into gouge marks or lines, wait for it to dry, cut away the edge, and then sand it up and buff it. And you have no more lines. And almost, it's not quite a seamless seam, but it is This seems become less prominent, shall we say. All right, where does this go? How does this go? Because we're looking at, here we are. This is almost real size, which is kind of cool. Get that in there like thus, thusy, and oh, in no way difficult, though. Kind of want to see if I can, here we go, just a bit of more fingernail action, and that cleans up a bit of the connection there. Igoki says the problem with sprue goo is that it shrinks a lot, and for a long time because of how much solvent ends up in it. Yeah, that's oof. True obvious to use super glue and instant ramen. Oh my goodness, that sound, yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen those. That's it's also again kind of amazing. I don't think I'm going to sprue goo this particular one, but I just want to have the A, I want to be able to collect the garbage easily, and B, I want to have the options in the first place. Going back over and looking at that the GP03 Gundam that I did first, Ian's first Gundam was there's some pretty nasty marks. When I last looked at it, it might not be as bad as I remember. 19 we need. But there might be a few marks that I want to redo, because that was a Gundam I put together using only my the nippers I currently use for soldering. So they're double bladed, and the blades are not great, and that cutter cost me $1, but it's still useful for things. J17, J1, yeah, we got that here, good, and K20. Let's get K20 here first of all. It's J1, right, K20. There we are. 20. Okay. Oh yes, I mentioned the, or did I mention what the beer was? I think I did. Just going back through the chat as I look through here. Ninja Puff says, howdy Ian, I want to thank you in chat for the advice last TTSF for the advice, a good place to start with Gunpla kits. Ended up loving putting together. Glad to hear it. That is a success story in my books. I'm not sure if you're one of the people who approached me on Twitter, but if you don't mind my asking, what did you end up getting? J17. Igoki says, gel superglue plus talc, actual talc, not cornstarch, is a fantastic filler glue. Japan has various hobby-branded CA glues and microballoon fillers, but those are significantly more expensive. Talc plus gel superglue sounds really good, because both of those products also sound incredibly easy to obtain, although talc less so. In fact, if there are any hobbyists who want to give this a try, get your talc now. Because my understanding is that unless you're going to be going with elemental talc, if you want to be going with like just talcum powder for the baby bottom, that may be going away soon due to research and information, if not already gone, and lawsuits about the carcinogenic properties of breathing talc. Minary says, I made the mistake of trying to use my cutters to fix a mattress spring. The mattress one, ooh, wow, yeah, no. Mattress springs seem P strong, so you probably want a more of a closer to a bolt cutter for that, I think. Rotary Sorter says, just finished IBO Iron Blood Orphans, a Gundam series for those who know. Season 1. It was a total shock that they went to my hometown of Edmonton. Had to buy Gray's kit because I loved the book. Rotary Sorter, I am also from Edmonton, and when I saw that when I saw that episode of, well, when I first saw an Iron Blood Orphans, the subtitle, "Take us on the train to Edmonton," my thought was, what? Edmonton? And then apparently it was head of the seat of the world parliament, which I mean, Edmonton's, it's a capital city. It's got a lot of stuff going through it in terms of pipelines and data structures, but they at least rendered the river valley very nicely, I have to say, from the train. And when they got to the episode where they did the fight in downtown, and you could tell which building was the payday loans company called Money Mart. Other payday loan companies are available. I was literally screaming at my TV. Like, what? No, anime does not go to third-tier Canadian cities. Yeah, it feels like Star Trek with San Fran, but it's so you know the issue that they say that Vancouver never plays itself in movies? Edmonton has a similar problem, except that Edmonton never shows up in anything, because why? But isn't Calgary the UN headquarters in Mass Effect 3? It could be Gunpla. I remember seeing the 780 area code pasted everywhere in Mass Effect 3. Oh, good. Okay, people talking about talc. That's what's going on here. Ninja Poof says they ended up getting an HG RX782. Very nice. And a Ava Kai Unit 8 Gamma. Ooh, I'm not familiar with that one, and that sounds cool, because I love me some Avas. Okay, I think this is everything we need here. And I'm just going to double check here. Most importantly, says Brownie Points, Edmonton makes a lot of sense as future capital for the same reason Iowa has mega cities in the future. Trek, lots of space for new infrastructure. I don't know. I mean, the problem with Edmonton right now is that it's, when I was living there, I don't think that this has changed. It had, I believe, was quantified as having the worst case of urban sprawl in North America. I think it was per capita or something like that. But it might have just been by land area too, which kind of makes sense when you're talking about urban sprawl. It's I don't know, Lady Elris, if it was worse than DC. DC tends to not really also be included in a lot of things, because is DC a state, or is it a city, or is it a district, or do people just not want to think about it? Yeah, DC seems actually pretty good. All of the above. Okay. Wow. Completed one subpart. H2. Okay. Oh, good. H2 is going to be a red part. So I can know which sprue to go to. Is it one that I've opened yet? Oh, lordy, no, it is. Well, it might be. Nope. I'm betting it's not. E. G. C. Here we go. Yep. Fresh bag time. Yeah, rotary sorter, if Edmonton keeps getting bigger, we're going to need another ring road to encompass everything. I used to live just a couple, about 20 minutes off of the south end of Edmonton's first ring road, and I could already see, the ring road hadn't even been finished, and things were already just plowing out past where it was intended to be. It's ridiculous. And Lady Elio says that they moved 3 hours north of DC, and one of the local freight company terminals just flipped over from rural to metro. Good God. Oof. Yeah, I mean, that is Edmonton as well. Walkman says, hey Ian, been wanting to get into Gundam building kits. I remember you recommended a way to watch it on the past DB. But which grade would be a good grade to start with? Want a bit of a challenge, but it's well to make it fun. I mean, boy. I think you should start with the entry grade, just because they're so cheap, and because of what I keep saying about Gunpla, that it's something that you you can make it as difficult as you want by how much effort you put into it. That's a good way. But if you're just looking for something that's more of a challenge, high grade or real grade. Maybe grab a real grade if you want a real challenge, but honestly, the best advice I have in terms of finding a kit is to just find one that looks cool to you and that you want to build, and then it'll be good. This was not at all the piece that I needed to remove, because this is not at all the sprue I needed to remove. Why did I think that was it? This is B, not H. Going through the whole clip out stage without even looking. Okay, that makes me worried now a little bit here. Put that down there. Okay, it's not any of these. J, K, L, C, G and G, A2, D, E, hold on, am I missing an entire runner here? That would seem odd. Okay. E, D, it's definitely not one of these. Okay, but even though I can't find the number on that one, check the runner list and pictures. That's a good idea there, Nidoki. Okay, let's see here. H. Oh. It's got all the bibbidi-boos. Oh, yep, so I guess that is going to be a gray one. Okay, hold on. Is it? Aha! No, that's J. JK. J2. K. It's definitely one that we've actually removed things from before, because I recognize the bottom of the feet from that. Okay. Remember that new bag that we opened? It was in there. It was just completely the wrong runner that I removed it from. There we go. Put you back in here for later. I mean, we're going to need that later. Very soon, I'm pretty sure. But okay, let's take care of this now. Oh. H2 is where we were at. Flippity. Flippity. There we go. H2. I'm appreciating the ragging on seed in the chat there. Okay, there we go. H2, and then 1 just plugs into that. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I've been trying my best to avoid getting ahead of myself and forming a backlog when it comes to model kits. I don't, but I'm also realizing that thanks to the way that Bandai is releasing their kits, that they certainly are trying to make that particular thing difficult. Premium Bandai. But it's, as it stands, I have only a few unbuilt. In fact, I don't think I have. I've got a Machine Krieger, and I think that's it in terms of unbuilt. Unfinished, that's a different story. All right. Which direction does this go? It goes like this, then it goes in here, and then down, and then the sub-arm twists this. Aha! There we go. Now we know how to see how it's done. And of course the tiny thumb tucks into the bottom of the shoe there. Didn't people used to mold and cast sets to make bootleg copies of things as Lady Aeolus? That's something that does still happen, if I recall, and it's less. I honestly don't know how prevalent it is. I've thankfully only been dealing in the newer models recently, but boy, there are a few old sets, namely the double Zeta version Ka, which I probably will have a hard time tracking down eventually. And I think it's that it's probably just that I follow too many people who don't, who are actually actively against recasts. That I haven't seen them around. I get the feeling that that the next time I go to any sort of a anime convention, that's will be the next time I run into bootlegs of some sort or another. Ooh, that's rough. Kind of pulled that one. Let's try a little harder on this one, not to mess it up. Okay, that's a little better. That's just going to need a little bit of cleaning there with a kniff. And then just rub it. Almost goes away. Ugh. That one I'm less happy about, though. All right, then, oh wait, there's one more piece that needs to be done there. And that one is flush cut. Nice. This comes right off. Good and clean. No caffeine. And then these push together thusly, I believe. Ooh. Yes. Oh, and now we have some interesting filler parts. A1 is our runner, and that's going to be a white runner, I believe. Am I correct in that assumption? These are M and M, which is apparently getting an update. A1, here we go. New bag. Being updated for the new 2020 millennium, I guess is what I'm calling it. Ooh, are these actual, what? Yeah, no, stickers. Boo. I was hoping for water slide decals, or decals. Right. We want A114. So 14 down here. Yeet. A114, A16. Let's lay that down again so we're not stressing things out. We're stressing it as little as possible. That was a bad job of me. Should really be making an effort to be exactly on the diagonal. Neo Xeon, the size of a coffee table, sounds really good to me. Maybe just encase it in resin and make it be like a feature. 13. Okay, so let's try and do that. Okay. Sure, working as intended. And A110 is the last one we need from here. Let's maybe cut a little bit closer, actually. There we go. That's how we do it. Neo Xeon 140. Well, I mean, okay, 144 scale. The Neo Xeon is still very large. Yeah, I'm curious about learning to do painting, specifically the airbrushing. Now that I've realized that apparently all those makeup brushes, the makeup airbrushes that are low powered but are still airbrushes, are just fine for the level of paint output that you're generally going to be putting down on a miniature or a model. Ooh, Launchman, yeah, yeah. Real grade Zaku would be cool, 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 cool. Go. It's 2 down. The Meerkat, you know what, I haven't, I hang around on Thingiverse at least, and I don't see much Gunpla content there. But I know that Thingiverse is not the end-all and be-all of models or model availabilities, especially when you get to into the people who sell their models. Get in there. Click it barely. Good. And I'm starting to get to the point where I can now discover what sort of force I want to feel from the nipper to know that I'm getting a good cut where I want it. It's very much very similar to lockpicking in that respect. All right, there we go. Let's add some detail, shall we? Okay. So on this one, so we need to hold it this way, and the bottom goes in this way. Good, that's one. Oh no, I have made a terrible mistake. A10, which I'm assuming is this one. It's going to go in like this. If that was A10, which I don't think it is. Uh-oh, I have made a terrible mistake. Come on, get out. Get out. Okay, so one of these is a very angry boy. And one of these is a slightly thick boy, so I think that is A10. Wait, maybe that's one there. No, that's got the wrong cutout on it. So I think that's A13 for down here. No, that doesn't get in there right either. Yeah, that doesn't feel right, like it's sticking in the right way. Could it be that way that it's going to go? That definitely clicks in better. Is that corrector? I don't think so. Oh no. Let's get the spudger out here. There we go. At least they provide you with a way of getting at the bottom. Let's try that from the other angle. There we go. That looks like that's more correct. I think it's meant to be thusly. Yep, that fits in there a little bit. There we go. That fits in there a bit more correct. And then this one's going to go in like this. Beauty. And then that goes in like that. And there we go. Got a bit of nice detailed edges there. Cool. Boom. Beep. Now let's do it again from the other side. J2. Should I have put these parts in an easily accessible place? Absolutely. Did I? No. But I did find J2. So it's all right now. And I'll need K20 as well. J2, K20, K19. Yeah, everything else is J2. Good. Okay. K20. Ooh, yeah, the HG origin line does have a lot of nifty kits from a nifty show. Okay, this is all internal, so, well, some of it's internal, but I think we can get right up in there right away. Go, it's J20 and K, or J27 and K20. Don't just say numbers, Ian. They mean things. We've already used NK20. We must now obtain our other K20. K20. Aha. Has anyone gotten bingo yet? We've got enough cards, right? Or numbers, rather. Assembling Gunpla, how to become a number station. Yeah, absolutely correct, Nigoki. J20. K2. K19. I did call bingo a couple times back in the old community bingo days, back in Mayo, Alberta, but not a calling. Which I guess is ironic, given the nature of what you do when you call bingo. Hey! Bingo floating ready live. That doesn't... That... Okay, I'm not one to tell y'all what to find entertaining, but that sounds like that might not be entertaining. Might just be very long and tedious, especially if we don't give you any bingo cards. Which means we absolutely have to do this now and not tell you that we're going to do it. The other issue being, of course, I'm pretty sure Twitch would... They wouldn't... So, even if it was completely... Excuse me. Sneeze came in there. Even if it was completely unprized, I'm pretty sure just the act of playing bingo is... the optics might be a bit weird. Bingo is not a spectator sport. Look at him working the cards. Actually, no. The more I think about it, and the more I think about the old ladies I remember, the more I think about the old ladies I remember. Yeah, bingo is absolutely a competitive sport. Not a not a spectator sport. So, 29. It could have been spectator sport. Get people up on the plinth, the bingo plinth, commentating on the granny's dabber technique. You can see there, Ralph. Irene, she's gone for the samurai technique. That's where she uses a reverse hand motion, dabber on the bottom, and starts going like that rather than a pencil grip. Some say it's a little aggressive, but I say do what gets you down the card. Let's check in with Joe over at Maple Leaf Foods for this week's Maple Leaf Foods Hot Dog of the Week. Joe? Joe's not here. We're not going to get other hot dogs are available. We're not going to hear from Joe today. J26, the little graspy hand. Just get you out of there, and then we can free you from your nubs. Haven't been doing a good job of collecting my nubs, have I? Or have I? Don't see any around here on the table, so... Whoop. I mean, the fact that I'm firing them into the ether might have something to do with that, too. H1! Let's do it again, friends. Right, H1 was not the red one. H1 was this one. And the one for H1 is up here in the one zone. Click, click, and click. Set that back over there. We got a very loose piece on there, but I hope we get to today. Otherwise, I'll have to find a way of getting it back in the bag. Back in the bag. Yeah. That up. Another. Come on. Ooh, got a bit close to the edge there. Shaved a hair's breadth off with the nub. Gotta watch that. And down. Never eastbound. And that... Ooh. I forgot to clean up the side of the hand, the nubbin hand. Whole big old piece of flashing on there. Alright. Fingernail that down to smoothness and shininess. And we have ourselves a tiny gripper. Tiny gripper in the deep blue sea. And click, turn, and click. And that is a sub-arm that has been assembled on that side. Turn the parts. B5. Right now I can get to that one that I cut out earlier. Here's a piece I prepared earlier. I don't get to do that often because I made a promise to myself that it's not something I do on this show. And up. Those seem... That particular mold location feels to me to be a very, might be a very difficult thing to get clean because I got it the same on both sides. Just shaving just a wee bit away. Roombaral will, in fact, eat well today. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Washoy. Well, that's less good. Go from the other direction just to give it a bit of a... Nope. Clean that edge. Yeah, that's smooth. That's smooth. So we're just going to have to maybe sand that down later on. That up there, though. There we go. Just the barest. That's much cleaner. Happier with that. Ah, battle damage. I mean, Tamily, that's an option as well, actually. I don't think I'm going to do chipped paint on this particular model, but that's something I would like to try in future. Is painting with a chip effect. Right. So we got that out. That just connects like that, and then we've just got the white parts to go. Oop, those feel like they snap in pretty permanently. I'm not gonna lie, that's not worrying, but that feels like you should be warned. One-time assembly only. Let's not cut out all the parts this time. Let's do it one by one. A115, right? Right. Okay, there and there and there. Push. Out. And these are probably the ones I need to worry the least about because all these edges are being hidden by the edges of this particular skirt piece. Frontal skirt. And that goes where? That was the one that went up top here with, again, yep, yes, the big thick-edged bottom. Looks good and even. Even is the important thing, because that means it, if it's even if it's wrong, it looks like it's meant to be that way. A17. Here is the big long friend. The long friend. I'm just going to clean those up. Whoop. Whoop. Hey, there we go. That's the last one of that. That goes there, again with the edge mark on the bottom. So I guess that it fills in the slot areas there. I don't know. What I do know is that A112 is next. Let's give that a free you from your prison, my friend. There we go. And let's clean off the barest edge. Go. A little bit here. Just the smallest bit. Good cut. Clean cut. No caffeine cut. One of these days, I will stop saying that because it will stop being funny to me. But that day is not today. So still always have to remember Baron Samedi. And his ads for 7-Eleven? No, 7-Up. Whew! Dodged a bullet there, Ian. Rookie question, why do you not cut close to the piece the first time? Because it's easier to angle these nippers in at the right flat angle when there's less gating in the way. It takes a little extra time, but it means you can be a lot more careful and a lot more twisty with your cuts. That way your cuts will end up being cleaner. At least that's what I'm telling myself about why I'm doing it. All right, this just goes in thusly. And once again, even those up. There we go. That one just wasn't attached enough. That's a pair of skirts, which is a good time for us to take a short break. Don't go away. I'm going to be back with more of the MSN-004. God, I should really remember this. None of you care either. MSN-004 Nightingale 2 Gunpla builds. Don't go away. More after this. Okay. Folks, welcome back to Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry here on the Mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian. We are continuing our build of the MSN-004 Nightingale Gunpla. It's a mobile suit, but it's a Gunpla. The Gunpla is Gundam plastic model. That's what it's a triple. Not an acronym, not a backronym. What's the word for it? Portmanteau. That's the one. It's like a portage, but for words. We're currently making our way into, the long proboscis. The central proboscis. And we're gonna need H14, and thankfully we know where H is now. And A108. So A108 is this big old friend here. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then finally get that there. Glad there was the talk about reasons why. And yes, I forget who mentioned that as well. Mentioned that yes, it does reduce stress lines if you can, again, get closer to, be more gentle with, and not have runners accidentally pulling in an opposite direction when you're attempting to not pull at all. Okay. There's a little bit of cleanup that I'm going to need to do there, but that's not so bad. These are pretty thick joins. So let's see if we can... That one's better. Oof, still needs a bit of cleanup there. And finally, that one feels much better. There we go. Barest mark there, but nothing that's going to be seen by the public. There we go. I think I'm finally getting my feel for these particular hobby knives. How they can be used to smooth things down. Yep, that's all the sides of that. Okay. And then H14, which was 10, but H14, this little friend down here. Okay. I might end up just placing this friend in a box here in a second too. Or bag rather, just to clip 10 so it doesn't end up being a problem and getting tearing itself off. And I'm just going to throw this all in its own little... That bag is too small. This bag is just right. Don't drop your part, Ian. Okay, there we go. I mean, of course, tossing it in, I'm sure, is very good for the parts. Mike is rubbing a bit. Thank you. Let me see if I can figure out why that is. All right, hopefully that'll be okay. Trimming down this friend. Let's get in there. Click. Away. There we go. And then that just cleans up real nicely on the fingernail. And again, this is going to be an pretty much invisible part except for here, because that's going to poke through. Just giving us a little bit of definition there. Nice. Nice. B06. Where's B6 gonna be? Ah! On the B runner, or the brunner, I guess you could call it, B6 is the top side of the proboscis. Okay, there's one there, and there's one side there. There, and then again there, and that will release the part. Still hearing some crackling. That, hold on a second. I'm beginning to wonder if that might, no, it shouldn't be anything. Okay. If I keep doing this, it's when I'm looking down. Okay, that just might actually be my beard against the shirt. Weird. Let's bring it down a bit. Just a bit more here. The microphone. And see if that does anything better. Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be the plastic bags, hopefully. When you have your arms out and looking down. See, the thing I worry about is that it's a bad cable, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Or at least if you don't actually put any work on the cable. Ooh, that was too close. Removed a bit of the ball joint there. That's why these god hands can be a bit you're not careful, a bit aggressive. Thankfully, that's not a problem. We should be able to get by with the remaining amount of ball. But this one, let's be a little bit more careful with. There we go. That's the amount that we want to remove. Here. Go. And just use just enough pressure to close it up. And that's a clean cut. Perfect. There's a burst when I did that. Yeah, you know what? I don't know what that might be causing. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the tapes. Thankfully, I'll be able to know. I was working on this bit and also just before the break. Okay. Where was I doing? Right, we were taking this, and then we were going to shove this bit into the bottom of it, such that it connects here. That seems to match what that's saying. Then we need H10, which... Is that the one that I just cut out? It was! It's your boy, H10, with his big, thick friend. And H9 is going to come along to play soon, and that's just flapping around in the wind as well. Let's cut it out, too. Good. Now everything else is secure in its sprue. All right, let's clean up some nubs. And we wanted H10. There we go. It's the ghost of all... The rustling sound is the ghost of all the horses that couldn't be drawn in this apartment. I never remember, did they establish whether it's that they're unable to draw horses or that they are forbidden to draw horses? Or is it a combination of the both? Ooh, E6, which is also an Untergate. But not on that one. Here's E6. H. Too many parts. J. A. K. J. J. K. The red part, though, I'm pretty sure. Hey! New sprue! If we had a soundboard, that would trigger a celebratory sound, I'm sure. The new sprue sound. E6. I was about to bring out E2. But that would have been incorrect. Close. And then, ooh, we're lucky. We got some under. Oh, all three of them. Hurrah! Undergate. My favorite gate. Just slowly shave that thing off. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to bring in the knife for that. Just bring that down just a titch. Oh, hey. There we go. Good work, me. Undergate number 2. That one a lot easier. Undergate number 3. Perfection. Absolute perfection. All right. And that connects to the bottom of this monstrosity. This side to the front, and these guidelines lining up with the guidelines in the piece. Perfect. I believe now we have a robotaint. Is there a reason why you're not cutting parts off the runner with non-godhead nippers? Yes, Gerwalken, because you don't need to split up your duties that way, and you don't need to baby your god hands that much. They are good, but they're not like the good scotch that you only bring out when Grandpa's dead. And even then, you shouldn't wait until Grandpa's dead to bring out the good scotch. The key to keeping them in good condition is, from my understanding, and my experience so far too, is it's more about technique than it is about overuse. You know, what you don't want to be doing is just jamming them in and twisting while working with them. This needs to go in here. perfect, I think. Andreasen's been going deep into tool steel metallurgy, and that sounds fascinating. And you want to make your own nippers. Okay, okay. If I recall, they don't recommend cutting parts over more than 1 millimeter thick. That doesn't line up with my experience here in the manuals. The only things that they suggest that you don't do are specifically Plamax, but I believe they're good for all their plastics. It's, yeah, again, everything that they suggest to you that you don't do is more about technique than anything else. What you don't want to do is twist both directions. You don't want to go just the tip. Aim for the center. Don't use the tip to cut. Yeah. But for soft plastics, 3 millimeters max. Well, 3 millimeters is pretty big. What's the size? Okay, well, you know what? Thankfully, we have millimeter scale here on the cutting mat. So let's see if I can just get that. And why would you look at that? The runners are exactly, on a standard thing, are exactly 3 millimeters in size. So there we go. So just basically the idea is use them for runners and only for soft plastics. And don't be a tool. If I can add to that, cut slowly. Don't just jam them in like a clipper. Remember, you're cutting through. You're wanting to smoothly cut through plastic, not just clip a couple connections. Which way am I going here?
But if you see something you like, don't forget to clip it.
Slowly and smoothly. Ooh. Uh-oh. Whew. Okay. Good. That feels like a one-time connection, or very close to. Wow, are we doing... Yeah, we are doing part of a full joint there. B1. And we're going to undergate this heavily. Where'd you go? Bees. Rock and roll. There we go. Okay. So let's see here. This particular run, I've been trying to cut as close to the actual gate edge as possible, where the plastic is thinnest, but not right up against the model part as well. Again, to do so that we're doing the cleanup with the nippers, rather than having to go in and knife it, which can be a bit scatty sometimes. Go. That's that. These two are undergated beautifully. So let's get nice and lined up with that, and just ever so slowly clip it down. Do it again. Maybe don't do it again. Yep, just get your knife in there and just shave it away. There we go. Nigoki, yeah, there. Those instructions, I don't know if it's all of those, but I do believe that that's pretty much the case for here as well. The ABS, polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, plastic something no gato, rana. Yeah, so those are the ones that I think are the ones that are okay. Okay. clear runners, gates are okay for clear runners. Yeah, I think I'm not recognizing all the kanji there, but I'm pretty sure that that's good advice anyway. The black box is what's not allowed. Which is why I find it interesting. Yeah, it seems like that's not allowed, but it says here, clear runners, gates okay. So I guess that means that as long as you're just cutting the gate, but not the actual runner, then you're fine. Then you're fine. That said, I would probably, I want something good for clear runners anyway. All right, there we go. Are we talking about highlights? That's not right. Clip it, that's the ticket. I will never, never, ever leave that alone. Okay. And that just comes together? That just comes together? Oh, oh. Our thick friend is taking form. Look at them go. Very close to perfectly clean, but not quite. Let's go and then maybe sand that down afterwards. I get a feeling I'm going to be doing a little bit of disassembly, reassembly on this thing. That said, we've got that there. Yeah, this is not leg day. Let's insert our side skirts. Insert the skirt. Ooh, and then big challenges, we get to attach the legs. Oh, chunky monkey. Look at that thing. And this is, I mean, if I were more of a, what do you call those guys? The kit bashers. If I were more of a kit basher, I'd actually be halfway to a full-on suit itself as it stands. The, little arms here, the arms pop out. I'm a little robot, short and stout. Here's my face. It's not my crotch. Oops, that was a ruse. It really is. Tip me over and pour me out. Step 5 complete. Good job, us. Look at us go. We are not even halfway done the book yet. Ooh, boy. It's time for the butt. Step 6. Cut out cleanly. L15. Now, which were my L runners? Where my L's at? There you are. Lift off. There we go. Is that correct? L5. No, this is the bottom. This is H13, which we also need, according to these instructions here. So let's get it off there while we're around. H13. This big ol' friend. Okay. Get in close, but not too close. Is a new phase. So. And finally, click and released. TM, Brendan Beach Deary. Let's clean it up while we got it out. One. Nope. Don't like that. That's the angle we want. Great. Similar things here. Perfect. And there we are. That is... Oh, no. 2 more up here. Well, that one just fell off. Don't like that. You can tell when a Gunpla is scared because the bits of the edge of the runners, the gates, just fall off. It's a stress reaction. Okay. L15. Here's my L's. I have a feeling... No, that's J2. Not every giant piece is the piece you're looking for, Ian. A J. Oh, wait. Is it in a new sprue we haven't got to yet? No, that's I. That's only I. All right, now it's time to actually start figuring this out. We get H, G, no, B, no, K. Oh, L. I didn't expect this to be orange. Well, great. New sprue. Unrelated to Gunpla, how do you deal with work burnout, says Launchman. I know you do stuff outside of Tilty House and LRR, and I'm feeling it pretty hard today. It's a tough one, and that's... I don't know, honestly. I just keep going is what's been working for me, and that's absolutely not advice that I would give to anyone. Take some time off. Take all your days off that you have available to you, should you have them. Yeah, burnout wise, I think what you got to do is just be careful. I'm not a mental health professional, and I would not recommend my advice on mental health to anyone. No, that said, it's something I've been thinking about myself, and when I come up with a solution, I'll let you know. I think the key is to take time for yourself. It's weird times, though, so, yeah, you gotta find a balance? I mean, yes, but watch Ian waffle on the big questions in life. Like that one there. Good, nice and clean. Now that I can get it out of there, it's a lot easier to get to just the areas that need to be removed. Woo-wee! Nice work there. Did I say that something is undergated? Oh, but they are suggesting we put on some stickers here, maybe. Oh! You're getting starting some much-needed therapy next month, but I've been noticing that work has just been so exhausting that I can't focus on it. Thank you for the advice, though. Launchman, that's, you know what? That is the best solution right there. Is find a, if you have a professional to talk to, and if you've got a workplace and you're aware of your situation, you are heads and shoulders above so many people out there. Undergate. Am I doing that on screen? I want to make sure you all get to see me clip these beautiful undergates. Oh, like a dream. A bit more on this side. This time I'm going to do the backwards motion. Yeah, that's thick. You can bring that down quite a bit. There we go. Too much whispering. That's what I'm going to suggest. All right. Where am I putting this here? We're putting this here like that. I think. Yes, yes, yes. And then this goes on top. But they want me to put the L5, the number 5 stickers, to these two black boys on these edges here. I'm not going to put on any stickers because I'd rather add paint should I be doing anything like that. So we'll just leave that particular portion of it be. But be aware of how things come together, he said. Trying to be aware of how things come together. Okay. Interesting. Interesting part. And then again, oh yes, this is one of these parts where we're going to have to eventually drill some holes. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll need to assess my drill bits, etc., etc., etc. Gerwalken says, stickers can be useful for masking. Correct! Tape is technically a sticker as well. Giselle says, I'm impressed how little burnout shows at LR are given y'all basically turn your hobbies, the thing the rest of us cope with, work burnout, into your job. Correct, Giselle, and some of us also have a job on top of that. No, everyone, ow! Push my hand, and that works incredibly hard at Lure. And yeah, I find it impressive how well people are able to keep it going. And also, most importantly, how well people are able to say, I need to take some time to take a break and take the breaks when they need it. And that is a lot also on Graham and Paul for putting together that sort of a company for us, that where we feel that ability, that comfort to be able to do that. So thank you to them, and thank you especially to you at home for your financial support and support in all sorts of ways, because that also makes it easiest to take the time that we need to recover when we need it. So thank you. Where was I? I saw something else in there. Ringo's Bear says, happy modeling next time. How about a Macross kit? It's gonna happen. So Corey wants to, when we go back to Japan, because she's not wrong in this respect, because we didn't budget for it last time, budget for a large SDF-1 kit, or a large SDF-1 figure of some sort. And honestly, I'm also considering looking into possibilities of large SDF-1 kits from the Macross, because sure would love to build one of those. Or, ooh, maybe we SDF figure and monster kit. We'll have to see what's available at the time when it is possible to travel between countries that are not this one. Right, this feels a little bit spurious right now. What we're going to do is we're going to attach a bunch of these little thruster nozzles But these are the sorts of things that we're going to eventually be popping off and replacing with some little metal friends that we ordered to really take this particular kit over the top, which was my plan. I wanted this one to be a one where I experiment with some more things. So, like I've said, I've noticed some new names here since I talked about this at the top of the first program on this topic. My plan is to not just add a bunch of metal parts, including these new thrusters, but also to do a full water slide decal treatment for this friend. Again, as I said, probably not going to paint this one, but, you know, keep moving up. Keep increasing those skills. I heard Wiggins the other day figured out how to top coat things. So my one advantage is already gone. I've done that on the colony build, the colony model a few months back. So I got to stay ahead one way or another. Of course, after that, I mean, once I get comfortable with painting, then comes resin parts. And at that point, oh, the sky is the limit. Yugoki says, currently the monster only come in either the very expensive die-cast or very expensive and old and rare resin kit forms. Ooh, boy. Although hopefully Hasegawa is announcing a whole bunch of new SDF kits after licensing was sorted, maybe Wave will re-announce their plastic monster that showed up at hobby shows once, then disappeared. That would be ideal, actually. Large plastic monster would be fine, because I don't want to do... I'm not ready for resin, let's be honest. Who's ready for resin? Not Ian. 22. More 22s, you say? Dude, stop cutting me out of the gates like that. It's fine. He's got the god hand. Oh, super clean. And so on. Oh, I just remembered that we're getting a Venture Brothers movie at some point to resolve everything, and that makes me happy. Alright, let's clip down these thruster nozzles. I was going to say, oh, these are trash now that I've got the metal ones, but then I thought to myself, no, I need to be, saving all of my runners and saving all of these nozzles, because these are going to be very useful when I eventually, as I said, decide to do some sort of kit bashage, or possibly just greebling for another kit. Like thruster nozzles. These are never not useful. All right. I mean, at the moment, they're useful to be placed into the model to be thruster nozzles. And then we have A24s. 2 of them. So we need both runners of the Ks. Let's go through there. What's your holy model kit? My Holy Grail model kit, and have I built it, says Gerwalkun. Which, by the way, love. This is probably the most appropriate stream for me to comment on that. I love that name, because love me the Gerwalk. That said, okay, yeah, I guess there is one, and I hadn't thought about it until just now. And the problem is, I don't think I actually want to own it, because it does end up being way too huge. And that's the, I think it's the perfect grade GP03 Dendrobium. The full-on mobile armor piloted by a mobile suit from Gundam 0083 Stardust Memories. That said, I really would like to, I would love to build, or put together a Kobayashi Kondo style Dom or double Zeta, because those, I am in love with big, chunky, dirty, matte boys when it comes to my mobile suits. Oh, sorry, there is no perfect grade. So you're telling me the one that's, because the robot is, yeah, so the one that's that big that's 144. That's, yeah, I guess that's it then. Regardless, it's it might be the 1 to 200 high grade. I don't know. The problem is I have the Gundam fixed figuration figure of that, and that's kind of all I need and all I have space for. So, but yeah, I'd say double Zeta. My favorite mobile suit is the single Zeta, but kit-wise, they're not that great. I don't know. I just love all these little things. Why do you talk to us like my dentist talks to me when they're telling me I need to floss? Oh my god, I'm sorry about that. Don't want to stress anyone out like that. Okay, yeah. Perfect grade Zeta, maybe that might be a thing. I think actually I've kind of haven't hit a wall yet with the kits. In terms of kits, the next one I actually do want to build is the I believe it's Wave put it out, but it's the model of the panel for the HAL 9000. Just to have that on my wall, hook it up to a good lens and and some sort of maybe Almond or Hugin, one of the voice systems that's open source and not constantly listing in a bad way. Santo69 asks, would I rather have a Gundam or an X-Wing? Well, I mean, that's... oh boy. Depends on the universe. Like if we're going to if an X-Wing automatically puts me into the Star Wars universe, I think I'd rather be in the Star Wars universe just because it's a much more livable place to be. Perfect grade Zeta would be 2.3 meters long. Oh yeah, I guess that's right, because the size does also increase with the size. Why not? If you get a fully operational either, how can you take the X-Wing and it has a hyperdrive? Like, Manai, that's, again, exactly correct. You get the hyperdrive out of that. But, you know, if there's no universe to go to, which the Gundam universe implies, that's... could be problematic the minute you make a post-bingo flight. What was I going to say about that, though? That said, one of my favorite things about the Gundam universe, or specifically the Gundam UC universe, the mainline Gundam, and is that it's very they like space, and so they put a lot of time into showing what more realistic, fully realistic, but more realistic space combat is like, with the need to consider orbital dynamics and going around a planet and coming back at people from the other side, seeing that people are on a trajectory and saying, like, we can't chase them, space travel doesn't work that way, but if we go this ridiculous route around orbitally, it'll work. The fact that mobile suits exist for space combat because you can use the shift in body movement to turn a thing around and shift position rather than having to use vernier thrusters, thereby saving propulsion, makes a lot of sense in my head. And boy, like the idea of getting to fly a Zeta is choice. But yeah, if the appearance of said mode of transportation appears to me and implies that that is the world I'm living in, I'd rather live in a world with Jedis than I would in a world with new types, because I'm one of the people that's not going to be getting off the planet when the colony drops. Pretty sure. We got the jets in. We got those. Oh, yes, it's time for the big butt cover. There we go. And now I get to look at the reactions from the chat to my various ramp. Has Gundam ever explicitly stated in travels is not possible? No, it's perfectly possible, but it's all sublight, as Silverthorn points out, which is less pleasant, but it makes things like the Jupiterus and the Jupiter missions and Saturn missions extremely cool, as like, let's send these ships out partially for exploration, but mostly to get some very valuable helium from and rarer isotopes of hydrogen from the Jupiter gas area. Nikoki says, on the topic of kit bashing, is the big red part of the big skirt enough to kit bash to a cyberpunk face mask? I don't know. You tell me. It seems actually pretty close. Good God, that's a lot. I mean, when you have an entire gate for one part, that's starting to say something about the ridiculousness of said kit. And it is undergated, which I am very pleased with. Though apparently they want me to apply stickers first to this, which again, less want to do that. Active mass balancing is an awesome theory. At one point I was thinking about how you do it with fighter craft, ended up looking like a cockpit with the Gundam winglets in the back. Mene, are you familiar with the Star Furies from Babylon 5, which are essentially a coffin-shaped cockpit with the winglets from Crossbone Gundam coming out the back as wings? And they are actually some of my favorite short-range fighters in science fiction. Oh, also, just so we're clear, when we're talking X-Wings, I think I want a T-70. I think T-65s were pretty nice, but I want the new hotness, and I do like the... As much as I... they're both good. Damn it. Oh, Manai, no, the wings do not move. But that'd be cool if they did. Eee! Stress marks. I don't like the stress. Okay. So we're going to be real slow and careful with these. As we just slide them in. That's not too bad. Just the slightest amount of a U there. Gorolkin says, how are you planning on painting? This one, I don't think, as I said, I don't think I'm painting this model myself, except for the stickers. The sticker areas will probably brush on some very, very thin paint in those areas. Maybe we'll try airbrushing those just as a test, but boy, that would be a lot of masking for some very small areas. Yeah, thinking of painting for a future kit of some sort. Specifically, if we ever do the Machine Krieger kit on stream, that might be a great place to do painting, because that is not a colored model and does require painting in order to look good. Otherwise, you're just looking at a putty gray mechanical walker machine. That's... no one likes that. Still can't believe we're going to get some sort of a Machine Krieger animation, either an OVA or full series. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to continue down that path. I've built my own lightsaber, and I have carried a barely literate 3-foot tall object on my back over the course of 3 months. I think that I qualify as a Jedi based on that. All I need to do is face Lord Vader. And then according to what I learned from Empire Strikes Back. Okay. Let's put this. This goes up. Oh yes. Oh, good pod. Good pod. Okay. Look at that. Interesting. So yeah, stickers would have gone up in here, I believe, and that would have been 6 and 7. So those would have been these orange bits in here. So maybe we'll put those stickers on in future, but we'll need to get back in there to drill out these spaces for the new thrusters as well. It's just turned into a cuttlefish. Yeah, I like it. Okay, it's in there. We need K23s for days. Did anyone else see that that information about the fact that squids can fly now? But I mean, they can glide. Let's be clear. They are not propelling themselves through the air. They are achieving glided flight. And 2 more of the 23s. And thank you, Dark Morford, for forwarding me that information about the Shenmue anime series. This is something that has been yes, crossed my path a number of times, but definitely worth addressing. And by addressing, I mean, oh god. Oh, there it is. Thank goodness. Folks, cork floors are not great for being able to tell where dropped thrusters go. Take a sippy here. So, gotta say, even though I'm actually no, even though I probably wasn't going to watch the dub in the first place of the Shenmue series, the fact that they didn't get the original voice actor from, like, they got the voice actor from the game for the Japanese version, but not for the American version? Come on. His stilted dialogue was part of the charm, and now it's not going to be Ryo Hazuki for me in the English version, so back to the Japanese version again. But, you know, good studio behind it. Good, I can't say anything about Crunchyroll specifically, but we'll see. They do appear to just be simply adapting the game story, which is the correct thing to do, but... Oh no. Nikus, are you trying to drop some squid knowledge on us, or is that just flight knowledge? This link did not appear to work in my unfurler, but that's not your job. Okay. My job is just build this novel, build this model, and chat with y'all and have a good time. Good time. Actually, you all are very lucky that I didn't decide to... sorry, not that I didn't decide to. Let's be clear here. There wasn't a decision. Let's all be glad that I didn't have spare plastic straws and rubber gloves in the house, because I did see a instructional video today on how to make your own bagpipes out of those items, and I absolutely feel like doing that. Synth, I did see enough pictures of things that appeared to be Ryo fighting sailors that from a specific scene. Like, as Corey pointed out to me when she was watching it, like, these are just scenes from the game. Like, yeah, that's how it should be for that particular type of adaptation of a game. Oh, I love bagpipes too. The sound that these made was not at all bagpipes, but it would be fun. I think it would be a fun thing to do. So much hoses and rockets. Ugh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We get to do something fun next. Something that I've never got to do. And that was one of the other chase models or grail models that I'd like, is the Gundam XS Deep Striker from from a few of those from the novels. God, what novel was that? Now that I can't remember it off my head. The point is, we need to take a break, and we're gonna do that. And so I'm gonna stick in the box. Gonna be some ads, but you should get up, stretch your legs, swap your fluids, and Sentinel. Thank you, Gerwalk Gundam Sentinel. And we'll be back with more of the process of this particular Gunpla build in just a few. Don't go away. Folks, we're back with more Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry, where we are continuing with the build through of the MSN-042 Nightingale Gunpla in the high grade edition. Shadowhawk, when you posted that link to Hobby Link Japan of the Deep Striker, and impressive, Zanzibar, you put one of those together. That's I was worried for a second. 190 Japanese yen. That's almost affordable. Is it still? It is not in stock. It is absolutely not in stock. So, but dang, that is is that the Hi-Nu Gundam Shadowhawk? With the is that the new Hi-Nu with the giant gun? Giant gun. That's helpful. Loving the Saturn V in the background there too. Where were we at here? Right, we were talking about the fact that I love putting together booster tanks. It's a Hi-Nu with the P-Band Hyper Mega Bazooka. That's what I was wondering about. Okay. Somewhat curious, whose Ghibli has your favorite color scheme? Ooh, King Wiggins. I mean, the original is really good, but God, and I can never remember the name of the suit because they are very much non-English and very much non-Western European words. Specifically, the one from Unicorn that, what's her face? Wow, why can I not remember any names tonight? Pink-haired, not Plu, but definitely a Plu. Pilots with the 4 shoulder binders, which I tell was technically not Ghibli, but is still one of my favorites. I think Ghiblis look really good in green, is what I'm saying. Green and with yellow highlights. That they really should have been. They're way too elite to be a mass-produced suit, but they should be. They really should have been Zaku. Yes, Merida, Cruz, and Shtaria. That was the one. Love that suit. Love Merida Cruz as well. God, that Gundam Unicorn hit me way too hard, and I've watched Gundam in all the wrong order. I've seen the movies, and I still have yet. Dirty secret, I still have yet to see First Gundam in series form. I'm doing that very soon. But you know what? That's right. I just finished Zabungle the other day. So I should. Okay, first of all, what am I looking for here? M13 and M12. This is M2, so go away. You want all on M1. M1, 3 and 2. These two large friends. Okay, now we'll talk about the fact that I finished Zabungle. Zabungle's fine. Zabungle's pretty good. I enjoy how dorky the characters in Zabungle are, but it's no the Ideon. Oh, Zanzibar. Yeah, no, I'm aware of the Psycho Zaku 2, and things from Thunderbolt are so good. And Thunderbolt is so good for getting my friends into watching and caring about Gundam as a narrative, not narrative Gundam. Never care about narrative Gundam. And he says, I never did finish watching Unicorn. Was watching the movies via means, but only up to like 9. Should rewatch the series. Yeah, Manai, the series was good. And I know that's, I don't know where it's streaming currently. You can go to because.moe to find that out if you're curious, or if anyone else in the chat is curious about that. Other trucks that it can fall off are available, should you need the means. And K21 is the other one here if you need. But yeah, I watched Gundam in all the wrong order, which is to say, I started. My first Gundam that I ever watched was Gundam 0083 Stardust Memories, which is a series that takes place in the main timeline between the first series Gundam and the second series of Gundam, Gundam Zeta. Then went back to watch Gundam 8th Mobile Suit Team, which takes place during the first series, but in a different place. And then wandered around there. Eventually got to watching the Gundam. I think, I think I actually watched first Gundam, the movies. Probably watched them Anime Club when I was young, but I don't even remember anything about them. But I think I watched them after watching the 2000, and I want to say 6 television series, television drama on NHK, Train Man, which introduced me to a lot of otaku touchstones that I was not aware of until I went digging in and looking for them. Specifically, the trope about Matilda, who is a character who shows up partway through First Gundam, helps out the cast, and then kind of becomes a combination mother / love interest figure for the main characters, plural, and then promptly dies. That's not even a spoiler. It's so much of a meme that I'm not going to say that it's a spoiler territory. But the act of seeing multiple people on screen screaming Matilda and having this wonderful music playing in the background led me down a rabbit hole of interest. And then that's when I started watching the other Gundam series, starting with Zeta. And it's all out the window from there. Somehow War in the Pocket was the first Gundam you saw, Leshrek. That is probably... I understand that for a lot of people, that is the optimal situation. Because that is absolutely one of the best Gundams to show people who are not necessarily into Gundam. Hexy says, on the side, I'd like a JoJo spin-off called Stardust Memories, where Joseph Tales of Stardust Crusaders to Josuke, with occasional interruptions by Jotaro. I mean, yeah. Hell, let's do a short crossover where we actually get our good Stardust Crusader boys in some Stardust memory. This is the important part. Stardust memory suits. So we need to make sure that the hole is coming out that way and that the open bit is on the top. I believe the metal kit, or the photo etch parts kit that I purchased, does also include some see, that's... Let's try to avoid that on the next tank, friends. This is one of those things where seam line deletion is absolutely in my future, I think, to get rid of that. But that's okay. We got that there. And of course, they're going to want to put us to put a One of these number 9s, the red band around it. We have water slide decals for that in future, so stay tuned for that, and literally stay tuned for that. Not tonight, but we will be doing that in the future. Let's get these other ones out here, M2-3 and M2-2. Clip them out and put them together. Yes, thankfully if they're easy to snap apart, thankfully I found the good spudger on the back of this Olfa knife, because I found the other Olfa knife that was graciously sent as a gift, and we've been doing good use of these here. There we go. Penguin Rojo asks if I made one of the Haro models. Oh my gosh, that's another one that I have that I haven't built. That is in my possession, but isn't for me. I remember back, one of the last anime conventions I went to in Calgary, I picked up a few model kits. That's where I picked up the Machine Krieger. That's where I picked up something else that I can't remember off the top of my head. And also where I grabbed a bear guy, because I thought it would be fun to let someone else build a model alongside me, and I never have done that. So I think I've possibly promised that to Corey, but I also believe that she didn't realize that I had done that, so maybe I didn't promise it to her. But I've done that on air now, so maybe we'll have to make her build a bear guy on screen. Launchman says, is it true that Japan has convenient exclusive Japan kits? I've heard from friends that build. Yes. And in fact, that is one of the things that I will be adding to. Our good friend of the show, Jacob Burgess, when he was last in Japan, way back before Panini, brought back for me a exclusive 7-Eleven Gundam that you can, of course, find footage of in previous episodes up on youtube.com/loadingreadylive, where all of our streams live. But yeah, so that it looks great. I would, again, like to get a good water slide decal kit for that, to just add some, greebly panel labels to it, because I love the panel labels in my Gundams. And then I can give that a top coat and consider that one finished. In that line, one of the Gundam kits I do want to own and build at some point in the future is another similarly branded Gundam RX-78 kit, which is the RX-78 All Nippon Airways edition. Shadowhawk, there. Oh, you're missing the Taiwan exclusive 7-Eleven version. That's unfortunate, but. And yeah, the bear guys are great little kits and also great for customization too. I love that they come with a blank sign specifically for you, at least the versions I did. Yeah, believe it or not, during the time I was living in Japan, I was not what you would consider a Gundam fan. I was aware of it, but I was not in any way hunting down or being a fan. All right, we need still K21 from the other side of the Ks. Arc VT, yeah, no, the real grade new Gundam is pretty slick looking. That said, no unjoy to anyone who likes the new Gundam. I honestly don't really like the new Gundam. If I have to have a bog standard Gundam as a favorite Gundam, I'm actually gonna give it to the Mark II, I would have to say. Oh god, the Linkin Park Fulvarnian GP01 is amazing. Oh yeah, no, Crossbones are fantastic too, and it took me playing a Super Robot Wars game. By the way, if you're interested in large robots and you're not aware of the Super Robot Wars series of games, they've just recently released the last two, V and X, and not even recently, but they're available for the Switch in English, and they're a great fun time if you ever just want to. If you're ever one of those kids who wanted to mash all your toys from your different TV series together and see how they all got along. They're a lot of fun. Ah, Symphonic Lolita. Now I feel very bad about that. Oh, the newest Super Robot Wars is also on. Yes, you're right, Nigoki. It is on stream. It's the whatever the one 30th. Yes, the 30th anniversary one. It's good. Yeah, why isn't Netflix talking to anyone in Japan about putting together exclusive series? Because Netflix, listen, pay attention. I want you to get on the phone with Mr. Bandai-san and Mr. Sunrise-san and Mr. wow, Mr. and San, that seems weird, and Mr. Yoshiyuki Tomino-san. And I would like you to spend your large amounts of money to create a Crossbone Gundam. Please. Please. Just let us have the full Crossbone Gundam series. And if you're feeling spicy, can you give us the rest of Formula 91? Just a little bit. Just a wee bit. Sunrise-san probably won't cooperate, but they seem to have their own plans, and that's good. That just means that the series is healthy, but it's healthy in that Star Wars way that makes me worry a little bit. Where are we looking for? I-22. That's H. I assume it's gray because it's a connector piece. G. Is it new sprue time already? Sprue time for Ian and Germany. Winter for Gunpla and France. Yeah, there you go. Who thought I could make a reference to the producers without actually saying the name? I-22. Let's clip her out. Clip her out, then clean her up. Isn't Netflix producing the 3 Hathaway films? Neo Silverthorne, I think they just have the distribution rights, because they're not calling it a Netflix original. And let me tell you, anyone who's making anime is using any excuse that they can to call their thing an original. I'm looking directly at you, Crunchyroll and Netflix and Hulu and anyone else. Yeah, God, the closest thing to an original is, as you say, Aquinas Era, Harmony Gold's Robotech's The Shadow Chronicles, a Harmony Gold original. Thank you for sucking all meaning out of the word original. And for definitely doing all the work in removing anything quintessentially Japanese about anime, and anime becoming now a style, an aesthetic, rather than specifically meaning any Hey, let's connect some things up here. Oh, wow. Oh, this is starting to come together, folks. For explanatory purposes, some images have been omitted. Something King of the Hill is an anime. All right, so that goes up into here. Ah, there we go, that connects in. And of course, then you have the wonderful amounts of articulation of how you want to position your booster tanks, which is choice. But you can also secure them up in the tail zone. Oh. That's such a low profile of an attack vector. Who could possibly shoot from this angle? Why? Amuro Ray, of course. H11 and H5. This is the parking brake, effectively. What we're about to build is effectively the parking brake of the, or the landing gear of this particular mobile suit. That's I. H. H is on that sprue. We need 5 and 11. So 5 and 11. Perfect. Ooh, wow. Precision engineering indeed, friends. Check that out there. That to me feels like a bubble in the plastic just before it hits the actual piece of plastic. Boy, that's fascinating, because that to me is just on the verge of rejection, which leads me to believe that they have very good, yeah, and actually here too, you can just barely see that there's a hole just on the edge there. Good God, okay, good quality control on the company, because that sprue didn't get rejected, and because the part itself is perfect. Very nice. Let's get that in there. It's nice and flat again, and oh, no. There we go. Oh. Shall say, thankfully, the translate apps are very good for the sort of text you'll find in these Gundam. I mean, you may already know this, but for anyone out there who doesn't, the Google Translate app and the Apple Translate app, especially for Japanese, I can't speak for other countries, but for translating information you find in a textbook or a manual, is good. Uh-oh, Good Smile. Good Smile launched a bunch of things. Are they still working with Danny Chu for a bunch of stuff? Or is that kind of... He's still a thing, right? There we go. This part doesn't need to be really cleaned that much. Get 11 in there. The translation was, "Hey dummy, this is fragile." I mean, sometimes you just need to know. And sometimes you were able to interpret from your own understanding. Ah, that's a catch. Yeah, no scope that. Ow. Ooh, new Big O Modroid. Cool. I just have a feeling I'm going to end up watching Brain Powered next and wanting Brain Powered kits, which are absolutely not available these days or are available for extreme discount and nothing in between. I skipped over so many good anime when I was young. Or rather, I skipped over so many of Tomino's anime when I was young. Alright. Ooh, summary of announcements. Okay, I'm just going to take a half second for me to look at this while I talk to y'all. Okay, what do we got here? Pat Labor. Okay, I've seen a few of these. Pat Labor, yeah. Super into getting more Pat Labor models out there. Aliens looks pretty good. Maddox, I know people who have sworn off of Modroid kits and are getting back on because of the Maddox. Robocop 2, cool. Big, huh? That's a good giant robo. I might have to get me a giant robo for the shelf. Y'all should go watch Giant Robo. The animation. Let's see, other things I recognize. Promare, cool, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, good release set there. Gonna make a lot of people happy. OBS is currently active. No, I do not want to exit. Please close that window. Okay, so 2 claws front, and then that way for maximum hold down, and then that gets slotted into here. Slot in there. Push forward. Oh, wait, what? What's this for? Okay, that probably plugs into something else somewhere else for a different sort of... Oh, yeah, that'll probably be useful elsewise. But for now, we're just going to use that. Okay, so now it has a... now it has an foot. Okay, and here we go. Yeah. Okay, how about we finish this step here, and we finish these side skirts, and then we call that a day, because at the next point we're going to be moving on to our head. And there's some work to do beyond the time, as it were. Good God. There's a lot left to do. And yet, we have made some absolutely significant progress. Let's mate these 2 portions here. If you'll please enter the zone. Oh, that comes together nice. Oh, look at that thick child. Yes. Good. Okay. Bonk. Let's put that out of the way for a second there. Have a little sip here. Is this one life size? Says Darth Radius, 1 to 144 scale. So this is not a small friend even within the canon. This is a large lad. Okay, we got a few more skirts here. I think we get to actually finally, well, maybe not finally. Maybe that's not the way to put it, but D and C are, well, C, we actually have already completed and sprue, so good on us there. Put that in the archive. But we need B. Bees are important because they make us honey and populate things, but they're also on this sprue. So let's clip it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the way we like to clip. Are you ungated? 4. Okay. We got an interesting one here. Because by undergate, they mean something interesting. Let's add a bit more zoom here. Let's call that Sabunguru. You can see that these are mated on a curved surface here. So they are undergated technically, but they're undergated on a rounded edge. So that's going to be interesting there. Tammy asks where the word sprue comes from, and I honestly couldn't tell you. Let's get in there a bit more. 4 is the level I like. I assume it is simply an industry term of art. I see a lot of people are on the ball with some very good jokes about spruce and the Sprue region of France, but it's honestly something I've never looked into, and you might cause me to do so. If I could remember after this episode, and if we don't get an answer here, then I might have my own homework to deal with. Just a little bit of left over there. Good. And finally here. See, there's some crosstalk about adding LED kits to various kits, and one of the things I've got on my I do have a backlog of projects, and one of my backlogs in projects is painting based, but I have a commission at the moment in the way. I'm still waiting for some primer to show up for 3D print, but I've got the hammerhead, which I showed off I think last stream, the X-Wing scale tabletop miniatures Star Wars hammerhead starship that I'm very excited to get primed up, sanded down a bit, and painted. And it's printed such that I can add an LED or add LEDs to the engines, and I mean, well, not anything else because it's a solid, well, not a solid print, but a watertight print elsewhere. But it would be fun to. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I want to do that. I'm leaning on the side of no, because nothing else in my X-Wing kit is LED lit, so it'd be kind of weird to have the one ship that's A, not official, and B, doesn't have a card to go with it. You know, the one ship on the table that's not even official to be lit in the back. Sarah Markov, you're not the only one there. I'd recommend checking out, there's some people who did some 4K upscales of the pilot movie of Space Above and Beyond on YouTube, and it's kind of cool, actually. Right, J18. We got a couple more pieces here. And I think well, we've already talked about this. These are K's, H. This is the I. G2 is not the one we want. We want J1, and that is at the bottom of the stack here, I believe. Yes, it is. We got our big old thruster clusters, which, again, we're going to be, excuse the language, but we're going to be fucking these up here when it's time for us to attach the metal thrusters. Just as you expect a hole you pour a casting in. It's further defined down in injection molding just because inlets, outlets, you want to keep. Wow, that... So I believe that it could just refer to specifically term of art, but I now want to know where within the term, or where within the art the name came from. Someone had to come up with that word. Watch it just be like some guy named Jonathan Sprue. Oh yeah, these my channels I put down in my casting, and the way you flow the you flow the lead into the casted metal bit. My name's Jonathan Sprue, and I'm a foundryman in London. What up? BBC, if you're watching, hire me. Not sure for what, but you know what? Just gonna put it out there. Put me on your panel shows, you coward public broadcaster. We have J1 and B3. There are many holes, and they all line up in only one way to make a good thrustery side section. Same thing with this side. We are instructed not to cut these parts because they, oh look at that, they line up with the edge of something to make it look proper. Yeah, just bracings against the edge of this inside of the skirt. Okay, let us attach these, which now, let's bring out the boy. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to be one of those persons who assumes that a ship is a she and a gun is a he. But there's some. I want to say there's some equipment up here which implies some things. That's it. Let's attach our final bits for the night. Till it snaps. Okay, that did snap. Or it's snap-edged. It's a light snap. It's a very light snap. All right. And there we have it. Really? Already? You're going to do that to me already? Okay, well that is going to be a light touch component for future posing. As it stands. Or rather, as it kind of, woof. Let me tell you, that is necessary. That is a large amount of very detailed and pleasant plastic that I think we have put together here, friends. I'm excited to do more, but we have done a good amount of work today. We've got one more page before we're at the center explanatory section of the manual. Yeah, that's going to do it for Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry today on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is, and continues to be, and has been, Ian Horner. Why do you need to see this? You don't need to see me do this. Let's go full booth. If you like what you see here, check out loadingreadyrun.com for all the great shows. Loadingreadyrun.com/live has a link to everything that's coming up in the schedule. You can actually subscribe to it and put it in your own calendar, and then you don't need to worry about anyone telling you anything. If y'all did that, then I wouldn't say this every time. Check out youtube.com/loadingreadyrun for our premium content. By premium, I mean that's where the choice stuff ends up. All the good stuff is there. And all the other good stuff streams lives over at youtube.com/loadingreadylive for our streamium content. I'm never going to let that word go away because I like it. You can also go to patreon.com/loadingreadyrun if you'd like to support us over the long term. I mean, if you'd like to support us over the long term in a more active way, you can give us your subs and bits here at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun. And of course, we got to thank a bunch of you for your continued support, starting with people like 62MG Cobra, who's been here for 37 months. Thank you for your continued support. Oh, Jassery has been here for 4 months. The number gets bigger. It certainly does. That's just for me. Icelight, 51 months of subscription. That's one away from the full year in weeks, a number that is not prime, but feels like it should be. Whale Plaid subscribed for 76 months. Thank you for your continued support. Too Many Knives gave us their 35th subscription month already. Thank you. Jacob, spelled with numbers and letters, subscribed 72 months. Thank you alphanumerically for that subscription. Murderface 9797 has been here for 40 months. Thank you so much for that as well. Gerwalkun, brand new subscriber, welcome to the channel. Hopefully we'll have you here for Batroid Mode. One more second. Hopefully we'll have you here for Batroid mode in the future. Maliciously, Melkavian has been here for 21 months. Greebles. I do love me my good Greebles. Haphazard Haberdashery has subscribed for 80 months. I'll doff my cap to you, good sir, or madam, or whatever in between. Not gonna guess. Zanzibar is where I go if I was going for a restaurant, I think. I don't know. Zanzibar sounds like a place where I can get things that are tasty. Legendary Teeth. The Zanzibar 96 months. That's important. 96 months. Thank you. Legendary Teeth, brand new subscriber. Thank you for your teeth. The teeth. 62MG Cobra coming in at 67 months. Thank you. 37 months. Thank you for your continued support. Xantos69 throwing some bits our way. Thank you for those. And thank you to RN the Thigh for your 60 months of subscription. And finally, Aquinas has dropped bits on us for etymology. And what a good way to end the stream. Thank you so much, folks, for joining me for this. Looks even better with this particular white balance. Check out the underneath. Let's get these out. Yeah, out the side. We'll see you in a fortnight time, never in Fortnite, for more projects. Probably not this, but we'll be back to that. In the meantime, as we say every time recently, ever forward, learning out of spite. Good night, folks.